If you are here, you have taken an active role in bettering your life, no matter what stage of life you are in. The Banyan Treatment Centers podcast will discuss many topics like recovery, addiction, self-help, mental health, and so much more. It will provide you with tools to succeed, ideas for recovering, and how-tos on creating a better life. My name is Alyssa, and today's episode is about the cost of treatment and the options available to patients. Today on our panel, we have Lauren Connolly, Vice President of Patient Accounts at Banyan Treatment Centers. Lauren has been working in finance since 1994 and began working in the treatment industry in 2015. At Banyan, Lauren and her team assist both clients and their families to understand the financial responsibility of treatment. Thank you so much for joining us today. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about yourself and how your team helps patients?
Thank you for having me. Well, we can start with the fact that when I started in this industry, this was a subject that no one really wanted to have. It was almost taboo to discuss the patient's financial responsibility. Since finance has been a part of my background for over 25 years, it was a no-brainer to me to actually come in and let treatment centers know, especially the two that I've worked for so far, that you can collect money, not participate in fee forgiveness or enticement, and actually help the clients at the same time. So we've been doing this for quite a long time. I have a very small team of 9 that are scattered around the country. And for a small team, we help families navigate through the financial aspect of treatment, giving them some peace of mind of that it is affordable and that we can make payment arrangements with them if we need to and help them along the way, not only in the beginning, but through the course of treatment and after they get their final invoice. So it's something that we are really proud of and we are happy to help.
Yeah, well, thank you. And I mean, your team does a really great job at that. I know that kind of like your motto is like, we work in treatment to help people, not hurt people.
Correct.
So whether that has to do with the mind, body, spirit, and the financial aspect of it, because obviously there is a financial aspect to going to treatment unless you go to a state facility. But the Banyan Network is private insurance facility network. So this topic is really important because I think there are a lot of people out there that just assume that rehab is for celebrities, or that I can't afford that. And they don't realize that it is affordable to everybody. And you just need to make sure that you go and choose a facility that has the resources to work with you. So
right. And understanding your insurance and the costs associated with treatment is so important. No one wants to be surprised. No one wants to go through this, horrible disease, finally get the help that they so desperately need, to come home after treatment and open up a mailbox with $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 worth of bills. In my opinion, that's just enough for relapse.
Yeah, absolutely.
So transparency is very, very important to me and to Banyan, and it just alleviates the unknown.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of people that resist going to treatment due to finances, and they don't think that they can afford it. And refraining from necessary treatment can lead to detrimental consequences: prison, overdose, death. I mean, this is something that's really important to make sure you're handling when it comes up with your family and your loved ones.
Absolutely.
So, Lauren, how does one typically pay for treatment?
They can utilize their health insurance or they can pay privately. Prior to admission, we make sure that our verifications department runs the insurance to look at those benefits so that we have a clear picture of their deductible, any co-pays that apply, their co-insurance, and making sure that there's no stipulations on their policy. We want to make sure that their policy is active.
Right. And does health insurance cover the cost of addiction or mental health treatment? And if so, what type of insurance will cover it?
Authorization for treatment is really based on clinical and medical necessity. We accept most private insurance plans, commercial plans, private pays, VA insurance, military, and Medicaid policies. So again, it's really based on clinical and medical necessity.
Yeah.
And like I said, most insurance plans will cover mental health and substance abuse, but again, at the end of the day, it's really based on what their needs are.
So how is treatment billed? Is it per day? Is it per 30 days? I know a lot of people discuss length of stay and they say 30 days.
Well, it really depends on the insurance company. Some policies are unmanaged. No prior authorization is required for an unmanaged policy for treatment. However, the claims are billed weekly or monthly depending on the type of insurance plan. So different insurance plans have different requirements. Some want their bills at the end of treatment along with the chart. Some want it billed daily. Some want it billed weekly. It really depends.
And what happens if a client cannot pay their deductible?
Well, we always attempt to collect the deductible and the co-pays on or prior to admission. The deductible is the first amount of money that the insurance will not pay because it's patient responsibility. In certain cases, we can evaluate their financial situation, and we do offer payment plans if necessary.
So what are some options we offer to patients that do not have health insurance?
Well, we offer a discounted private pay rate or a sliding scale. If there are any scholarships available, obviously we would have them apply for that. But we really do make it as easy as possible to financially fit within their means. We deal with not only the clients, but we do deal with loved ones, so sometimes they're able to assist. So it really is a case-by-case basis.
I know you've said a lot of times people don't realize that they might have additional resources, so we really try to exhaust and try to encourage them to find help in one way or another so they can get the help that they need.
Correct.
What factors vary the cost of treatment?
Well, both level of care and length of stay determine the cost of treatment.
Right.
We offer detox, residential, PHP level of care for both substance abuse and mental health. We also offer IOP and OP services on location or via telehealth. Costs are typically based by level of care.
Got it. So detox, obviously, because it's a medical level of care and there's more happening and doctors and nurses, 24/7 staff, that's going to be a little bit more expensive than, let's say, IOP.
Correct, absolutely. The biggest component between detox and the other level of cares are obviously medication, medical, a lot more medical.
So what role do family members play when it comes to the client's financial obligation, or can family members assist with the client's financial obligations?
Absolutely. Families play a huge role in assisting their loved ones with the deductible copays, as well as privately paying when needed. Many clients struggle with the disease, have limited or no means to cover any of the fees. Having the family members assist financially offers a level of support, and it takes the pressure off the client.
Aside from the levels of care, what else is included in the cost of treatment? Why is it so expensive to treat someone?
Well, I mean, for our detox clients, detox medication is included, food, therapy, room and board. For residential clients utilizing insurance, the medications would be billed to their insurance. However, they would be still subjected to copays that would apply. Room and board and therapy are also included. It's important to note that all therapists at Banyan are master level clinicians. We believe in hiring the most experienced in the industry that offers our clients the best treatment available for both substance abuse and mental health. It can be costly, but you're getting great value.
I mean, we also offer a lot of amenities as well.
We do.
Chiropractic care, massage, acupuncture, yoga therapy, biofeedback bed, and all of these things help de-escalate anxiety, help with chronic pain. So all of these things go through the insurance. So that can make it a little bit more costly, but I mean, including that into your treatment plan is very helpful for patients.
Especially when you have them all under, the same domain. Having to have these extra ancillary services that we offer, having to go to different doctors and different places to have it done is time consuming and it could be more costly. So being able to offer as many ancillary services and amenities that we can alleviates that for our clients.
That's a really good point. Because, they're coming in and, we're handling the deductible and then they're in treatment and then, we're talking about how these things cost money. But for the most part, the patients don't have to worry about the cost of this stuff. If your insurance covers it, we've determined that before you've come in for admission, you're paying your deductible and then your insurance is handling the rest of this stuff.
Absolutely. Because when you go out separately for services such as these, you're most always subjected to a copay.
Right.
And sometimes those copays are daily copays.
Are there options or resources for someone who doesn't have the necessary means to pay for treatment up front?
There are websites online where you can apply for scholarships, or you can always reach out to samhsa.gov and inquire about treatment facilities in your area that do not require insurance or offer free treatment. Those are the best options.
Yeah, SAMHSA does a really good job of providing a whole list of treatment locations that don't require insurance at all. You might have a little bit of a waiting list at certain places, which is why it's important to make sure that you contact SAMHSA immediately, get yourself on a list if you don't have the means. And then also when enrollment comes around, if you know that you're struggling, or you've had a bad year, maybe you should sign up for insurance and be prepared.
Absolutely. Having insurance is actually the best thing because it's great for current care, but it's most importantly beneficial for long-term care.
Right. What about different types of facilities? Because you have standard facilities, you have luxury facilities. Why don't we talk a little bit about that?
Our facilities are pretty standard across the locations, apart from our executive luxury program called Seaside. This facility really caters to C-suite executives, professional athletes, and business owners. But primarily, the rest of our facilities are pretty standard in terms of cost. Obviously, there are different levels of care in different facilities, but the treatment is pretty much the same. The service of excellence is always the same.
What advice would you give to someone who's currently struggling with addiction or mental health but fears the financial responsibility of going to treatment?
I would say ask a lot of questions about your benefits and potential financial responsibility. Most people don't understand that they have in-network and out-of-network benefits. Ask if the facility that they are admitting to will be utilizing either their in-network or out-of-network benefits, and confirm what your financial responsibility will be. Speak with the finance department to go over how much you will need to pay up front for either your deductible or any copays. Have a clear understanding of what your treatment stay will cost. That's the most important thing. And any facility that you'd be speaking with should be completely transparent about what you could potentially owe. I think that it gives clients peace of mind knowing what they're looking at up front and what the worst case scenario is after treatment.
And if you are talking to a facility who's not being transparent about what the financial obligation is up front, maybe you need to call another place.
Absolutely. Like I said, here at Banyan Treatment Center, we pride ourselves on the fact that anyone that comes through any of our locations has a full understanding of their patient responsibility.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today, Lauren. I really appreciate it so much. And I think it's a really important topic for families and those struggling to understand that treatment can be affordable and they can do it.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Well, we hope you enjoyed today's episode. Remember that growth and recovery are possible and it can all start today. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Banyan Treatment Centers. And make sure you're subscribing for notifications of new episodes. And please don't forget to leave us a review. If you or someone you know are struggling, call us today at 888-515-7706. Thanks for joining us today on the Banyan Podcast.